If you would, that would be very kind. Thank you. Let me get this set up. Streaming at Thurston County District Court for the morning calendar, where the court makes a decision about whether restraining orders, protection orders would be issued. If that's not what you're here for, we'll get you redirected. So we're taking up the matter 2567, and Joyce Anaya is present and Ronald Smith is present. So, Mr. Smith, you had something to say about your petition?
Yeah, we have some neighbors that we've got problems with, and
but you're asking to do away with this?
Needs to be presented by an attorney that can do it properly, and we haven't got the funds to do that, so we are just withdrawing our complaint. Okay, all right. And I did, frankly, just without making any findings, I did look at obviously all of the information on all four matters. Four matters? And are you withdrawing your petition on all four matters then? Yes. Okay. The underlying issue is an easement, it sounds like. Whether you agree or disagree, I don't know, but it looks like a dispute about how this easement is used. This court is a district court, a court of lesser jurisdiction. Superior court, if I were to issue these orders, it potentially would interfere with someone's use of their real property. It wouldn't solve that dispute. It would cause more trouble. Superior court is the court that has those powers. So filing in the district court isn't going to get you there. You're in the wrong place. So when you're talking to the attorney, maybe you can fill out, well, I can do it later. When you talk to the attorney, review that closely. All the information I looked at looks like this easement is an issue. And so this court doesn't have the power to issue an order that might do that. So you may need to take this even
to
if the easement
court.
Is not on our property at all. It's
well,
someone else.
You know, it's
That's
a puzzlement. It's a puzzlement, yeah. And what I've read, I can't tease that apart. So if that becomes an issue, you might as well just file in Superior Court, and then you can put that to rest all at once. Don't waste time and money, is what I'm kind of trying to tell you in the district court. So there you go. All right. So I will sign off on orders, not just right now, because I'm going to try and keep rolling here, but they will be in the court file, or you can just simply contact the civil department here for copies of those. But dismissals, dismissing all four matters against the Reichels for now, and you'll take it from here thereafter.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good day. So, Ms. Torres, we'll take up your matter. Ms. Van Tiem has not appeared. Elizabeth Van Tiem's not in the courtroom. She's not on Zoom. And this is case number 2559. Let me get my documents up here from the court file. And I can turn back to you 1 second here. It's me. So it looks like what we received from the sheriff is they were not able to serve, to determine that they served Elizabeth Van Tiem with notice of today's hearing. So was there anything after, let me look at the date on this, March 10th that you were able to perfect service?
On March 10th, well, I heard from the Thurston County Sheriff that he did serve her at her job. He was supposed to drop off the return of service to you guys. I don't know if that's happened.
I don't have that, so you're going to need to provide that to the court. Do you have that? Can you get that?
I will have to go to the court later today to get it because I thought it was.
Well, today's the hearing, and so I'd like to give you a chance to show us that service. The last we had from the sheriff is March 10th saying that they were unable to serve her at home. You're saying that service was had at work. So if you can get that together this morning and get into the court in the next hour, then maybe we can do something about this.
I can try my best to make that happen. Yes.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do here is, can you put in the chat your email? Yeah. So my clerk is going to put into the chat function her email in the courtroom here. When you get that document from the sheriff, get it emailed directly to that email address to my clerk, and then we'll look for that and see if that service is sufficient, and if so, then maybe we can go forward together on a default order. I'm not sure yet, but work on that, and I'll look forward after 10 o'clock.
All right. Thank you.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you able to get that information to my clerk?
I believe so. I emailed it over and the sheriff faxed it over.
All right, great. Let me look at that. Aha, there it is. Okay. All right. So I do find that you were able to perfect. Do you have the file? Thanks. I do see that you were able to perfect service, personal service on Miss Van Tiem. She's not present. I can make a finding that she knew of this hearing and decided not to be here at her disadvantage. And I do see from what you filed with the court that you've been subject to an assault by Miss Van Tiem and subjected to unlawful harassment. So you're asking the court to continue this order, that temporary order, into an order today by default?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. What I'm going to do is make an order that mirrors the temporary order that was issued. So just give me a moment to do that. And then this order will be in the court file. Do we email it to them? Yeah, we'll email you a copy of this order since we have several cases kind of at once. Ms. Ageris and Mr. Stemple and Austin Halford and Emma Smith. I don't know if we have enough chairs on this side. Respondents on this side, I think we've got Ms. Satterwhite, Mr. Nichols. All these are so closely related, and we'll take them independently. Let's see. Maybe you can have a seat in the front row unless you're happy standing. And then once we need to hear more information directly from you, we'll get you up closer so that we can capture you. If you could grab that red lighted object and pull it closer to you. All right. Right in between the two of you, get it as close as possible, because that's what we're recording and trying to collect the information. I think that's close enough. All right, so we're here on several matters. The first one is 2564. Ms. Ageris filed for an harassment order. A temporary order was issued against Giselle Satterwhite, who's also known as Lexus Marie. Mr. Stemple, under 2565, received a temporary restraining order against Mr. Nichols. And then there was a temporary restraining order on behalf of Mr. Halford and Ms. Smith, Emma Smith, against Giselle Satterwhite, who's also known as Lexus Marie. All right. And so we were here on a couple of these cases last week, and the Ageris matter and the Stemple matter with Ms. Satterwhite, Mr. Nichols. We were here last week and set this over to today. So it made more sense to have all of this heard together because it's so closely associated with each other, and the facts, I think, affect each of these cases. So we still will do this kind of in order. I'll hear from the parties, but I have reviewed information that's been filed with the court, all of it. And what has to happen here, I mean, these orders I have to find under the law, was there unlawful harassment as it's defined under the law, not as you feel it, as it's defined. And then if so, then I may issue an order, and if not, then these temporary orders end. So first off, I'll turn to Ms. Ageris. Are you still asking for this order against Ms. Satterwhite?
Yes, I am. Yes,
Okay. Mr. Stemple, let's see, there you are. Are you still asking for this order against Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Okay. And then Mr. Halford, are you still asking for an order against Ms. Satterwhite?
No.
Okay. And then Ms. Smith, are you still asking for an order against Ms. Satterwhite? Okay, so I'm going to dismiss those petitions. And that order ends as to Austin Halford and Emma Smith. Ends now. So that's done. So I leave it to Austin Halford and Emma Smith if they want to stay or go. You don't have to stay.
Do we get any paperwork?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
It's just going to take a little bit. And then we'll take up 2564, which is Ms. Sedaris's petition for a restraining order against Giselle Satterwhite, also known as Lexus Marie, and Mr. Stemple's request for an order against Mr. Nichols. So first off, let me get everybody under oath. So everybody stand up since I've got y'all before me. And so Ms. Sedaris, raising your right hand, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, Mr. Stemple, raising your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, and then Mr. Nichols, yes. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
And finally, Ms. Satterwhite, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. All right, so first off, let me get my documents up here. The file's electronic, so you're going to see me going back and forth. I'm listening, but I am also looking at what you filed here. Just give me a moment to get that done. We're going to take up Ms. Sedaris's matter against Ms. Satterwhite first, 2564. And so, remembering this correctly, so the petitions under both these cause numbers, 2564 and 65, are just about identical. And we're taking up case 2564, and this is a request from, there's been a temporary restraining order issued protecting Ms. Agaris from Lexus Marie. Today's the hearing to determine whether that should continue on or not. And so what I'll do first is put you both under oath, and then I'll take some information from Ms. Agaris to support her claim that she should have this order. Take information from you, Ms. Marie, all about that too, why it shouldn't happen. And I know you have a dispute about whether you're even the right party, and we'll hear that too. So let me put Ms. Agaris under oath. Stand up with me. Raise your right hand. First off, I'm going to turn to you, Ms. Marie, because I think there's a motion from you about something, identity. What is it?
That's not even my government listed name. My name is Giselle Satterwhite. That is an Instagram name that they had found.
Giselle Satterwhite.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But your Instagram name is Lexus Marie?
Yes.
Lexis?
Marie.
So is that, okay. But Gisela, or
Giselle. Yes.
Giselle, G-I?
J-I-T-E.
Okay. All right. Ms. Satterwhite. All right. So, so I'm going to go a little bit back and forth here, but Mr. Jarris, this order was issued against Alexis Marie, not Ms. Satterwhite. Is this the person that you're seeking an order against that's sitting in court today? Okay. All right. And how old are you?
I'm 19.
And Ms. Satterwhite, how old are you?
18.
18. Okay. So we're in the right place. All right. So let me, and you'll both see me going back and forth from the screens because I've got the file electronic. So let me get that open and then we can get going here. So first off, and then I'll go back to Ms. Sedaris. So Ms. Satterwhite, did you receive Ms. Sedaris's petition?
Sure did.
Okay, and I think that's all she filed, and so that's how you know you're to be here. And then it looks like you filed some things today.
Yes, I'm working towards that paperwork as well.
Okay, so how many documents do we have here? Okay. And so you haven't had a chance to give this information then to
No,
Ms.
not
Sedaris?
yet.
Okay. It's not much information. What are we able to print this out? It's things that were filed today, the defendant's exhibits. A chance to kind of review things. And was the same information filed? Maybe Mr. Nichols, you
It's all in.
Same
condenser,
information?
Yes.
All right, the same information. We can print out 2 copies now that I've got this.
What
Can
was
you
that?
print out and then go into 6.5 and respondents exhibits, if you could print those out too. Sure. All right. Everybody some time to get to the bottom of this. Yeah, but we'll have someone else to give it to, is what I'm saying. Are Austin Halford and or Emma Smith present today? Emma Smith is. All right. And so your case is scheduled for next week, Monday. And that's also against Ms. Satterwhite? You're nodding yes? Is that right? Okay. This is what we're going to do. So we've already got several matters on Monday, the 31st. Are we setting from this? No, we're not setting from this week. This week we are setting to this up. Yeah, to the beginning. So that's pretty much it then, right? So that's I got several that are kind of the same. So, all right, that's what we're gonna do. There's information that Ms. Ageris and Mr. Stemple, let's see, where are you? Why don't you come on up to the table as well? And I'm sort of taking up 2565 together. And then Mr. Nichols, why don't you come on up and have a seat? So there's information, and I'm gonna hand it to, let's see, this goes to Ms. Ageris and Mr. Stemple, one for each of you. Here you go. These are what was filed today by Ms. Satterwhite, Mr. Nichols.
Thank you.
All right, so you got that. Got another hearing. It sounds like it involves at least somewhat of the same and some of the similar information. I think it would be useful to hear everything together. So I'm going to set all of this to Monday, week from today. The petitioners here have the information that the respondents have filed, at least in 2564 and 2565. And then what I'm going to say is if to some is Satterwhite, you're also named as a respondent in that other case, was a temporary restraining order. Can we just print out that restraining order and information from Ms. Satterwhite so she doesn't have to worry about, so she has, have you gotten that yet?
Oh, I had it, but it's in getting copied at the shelter we all reside
Okay.
in.
So you got the,
Yes,
from
I did.
Emma Smith and Austin
Yes, I did.
Halford? Okay, so you got all that. All right, we don't have to do that then. And whatever you may decide to file in that case, I'm going to give you a deadline.
Yeah.
Mr. Nichols as well. You don't have to file anything else, but if there is something, I want it filed with the court and gotten, so in the court file then. So look into the petitioners, there's going to be in the court file potentially more information. So everybody go to the court file before Monday. I would think Friday. You might want to look at that because no later than Wednesday are things filed by the respondents. All right. So Mr. Nichols, if there's anything more after today, no later than Wednesday. Ms. Satterwhite, anything by Wednesday in this case or the case for Monday. All of these will be set on Monday. So nothing later than Wednesday gets filed by anybody. Nobody files anything after Wednesday because then the judge has time to review it. You all have time to go to the court file and review it. All right. So I think I'll just put in addition there. G-E.
J-E
Come on and give you a G. J.
apostrophe.
So what I'm going to do is just sign orders that reissue it, set the court date, and then set that Wednesday filing date as the end.
I do have a few questions, Your
Sure.
Honor. Me and the party do attend the same school. I don't know how that's gonna play an effect. I start my classes on the 14th. We also all reside in the same like
14th of April.
Yes, I start my
Okay.
class and then I have to go in there today. I go into school at least 5 times a week.
Let me write this down.
And when it comes to
One
the
second. Let me just finish this, then I'll. Who's prepared? Thanks. I can do those other ones also. Get those done. All right. So you had a question, Ms. Satterwhite.
I was just asking when it comes to the buses, how does that work? Because we do ride the same bus.
Is it a?
It's a
IT?
public transit, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to not be on the same bus at the same time.
Oh, you're right.
So we'll be back,
I have a question.
Mr. Nichols. Yes.
So when it comes to that, say if me and her were on a bus first and then they got on a bus, would we have to get off?
It's all right.
Make sure that they know you're there. But it's kind of up to Ms. Ajeris and Mr. Stemple to also protect themselves. They've asked for these orders. They've been issued. So if they're on the bus first, don't get on the bus. It's about that simple. All right, so we're going to hand notice to everybody. No, you don't have to serve anybody notice anymore. Remember to go back to the court file no later than Friday, so you're ready for Monday. Nobody files anything after Wednesday, or the court won't consider it. All right,
Okay.
that's what that means. So, and then we'll be back at 9 o'clock on Monday. You can appear in person, you can appear by Zoom. It's entirely up to you. Yep.
One final question. When it comes to other people, like third parties, texting and sending out harassment and posting my fiance's rape charges all over social media, like I don't know what
So
to do
there's
about
certain things about free speech that this court doesn't
So
have
they're
anything to do with. But I'm gonna decide if there's been unlawful harassment that requires an order. So, Ms. Ajeris,
I do not, this person that they.
I'm not gonna talk about any of the facts. You're gonna bring that up at the trial that we have on Monday. So just be prepared on Monday, everyone, and we'll take those up. So first off, Mr. Stemple it is.
Rosie's have been working with these two individuals and have.
I'm not taking any testimony today. We're gonna have a trial tomorrow, and Rosie's will do what Rosie's will do. I don't know what their plan is. But if there's orders in effect, so that means that you've asked for these orders, both of you. That means there's no, these folks aren't to have contact with you in the way that those orders say it, and to stay away from you. And so therefore, don't put them in a spot to engage with you, and be very aware of that. Rosie's is a third party. They can't facilitate and put you in a spot that you could be arrested, you know, if you violate this order. So if the parties want Rosie's to mediate or something, then we can talk about these orders going away. But I guess I turn to Ms. Ajeris first. What's your take on this order continuing?
I'd like to continue.
Okay, Mr. Stemple.
I'd like to continue.
Okay, so we're gonna have trial on Monday then. Everyone will be ready. And first off, I'll have Mr. Stemple and Ms. Ajeris come up here and get copies of just your notice for the next hearing and the admonition that nothing gets filed after Wednesday.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you guys just stay seated. And then once you get that, then you're both on your way and just clear out of the courthouse, all right?
Thank
So,
you.
and then we'll, so one for each of you there. You can be on your way. Go. And so Ms. Smith, you don't have to stay. I'm asking though to leave the courtroom and leave right now. Don't stay. Ms. Ajeris, Mr. Stemple, on your way. Don't want anyone bumping into each other or making difficulties. So. That's right, Mr. Stemple, Ms. Ajeris?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I thought. So the allegations are against these different people. So I have had a chance to look now since our last hearing, the respondents had an opportunity to file certain things, and I told everybody, get them in, and everyone should just kind of look and see. And I'm pulling that up as well. So I'm going to turn first to Ms. Ajeris. In this petition, you're making all allegations against Ms. Satterwhite. And so tell me why I should be issuing this order on your behalf.
Your Honor, there have been times when my fiance and I have been in public and
Your fiance, Mr. Stemple?
Mr. Stemple.
Okay.
And we have been minding our own business, but she has followed us and has tried to get me to fight her multiple times, saying
So
that
tell me when.
it would be one of the
Most
times we were at the Lacey Transit Center. It was the first Saturday in March.
So this
And-
year.
Yes.
So beginning of March of 2025, you're at the Lacey Transit Center.
Yes, sir.
And tell me exactly what happened, what you said, what she said.
We were on a bus, Mr. Semple and I were on a bus minding our own business, and I saw Mr. Nichols and Ms. Satterway coming from Fred Meyer's to the Lacey Transit Center. We did not talk to them at all. They did come up to us. Mr. Nichols did get on the bus, and did not interact with us, but Miss Satterway from the outside of the bus was yelling at me to come fight her or she'll beat my ass.
All right, so she said just that.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, how did she tell you to come out of the bus? I mean, what did she say?
She was just yelling at me from outside the bus, saying how she was going to beat my ass, but I just ignored it. I did not talk to her. I minded my own business, and then I went on my way.
All right, had that happened before?
This has happened before multiple times inside of Rosie's place and outside of Rosie's place. We have been followed before.
How,
from them.
in what time frame is this all going on? Last year? Last 2
No,
years?
there's 2 months in February of 2025 and March of 2025.
Okay, so it all starts in February of 2025.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And what did you take? You're on the bus, she's outside the bus, and
Mhm.
she's hollering.
Yeah.
What did you
So
think?
I didn't say anything because
What did you think that meant?
it's been multiple times where she has been trying to get me to fight her, and I have completely ignored it because I'm not trying to fight anyone because I can get in trouble with it. Mostly I ignore it, but it's gone to a point where it's getting more aggressive.
How is it getting more aggressive?
It's been happening more often, which is why the last 2 weeks I have been in Centralia, just trying to leave everything behind. But there are times when I am up in Olympia and stuff has been happening.
So
Like
what's been
more
happening?
yelling and stuff, and I do try to avoid it because I don't want anything. I don't want bad blood, nothing.
So how long have you known Miss Satterwhite?
I've only known her since February 4th
Okay, and
of 2025.
and you met at Rosie's place?
Yes.
All right. And so
At first, everything was fine. We were all good. Like we were all just talking normally. Like that was the only time we saw each other. And then I would say the second, third week of February is when something happened, something changed, and it was very tense in the space. And outside, they started following us, and it was more of the threats of me trying to get her to fight her. At first, I ignored it because I was like, maybe this is just something that she's going through or something, and I didn't want any part of it. And then it started continuing happening more often, so I continued to ignore it, but it's gotten to a point where I'm a little worried for my safety.
why are you worried for your safety?
Because I don't know if she's going to come at me. Because she keeps following me, and she's been yelling at me, so I don't know if the next thing she's going to do is try to come at me.
So this all happened February and March. Any other times?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so how many times do you think this has happened with Miss Satterwhite?
It's scattered throughout the months of February and March.
Has there been any intercession from folks at Rosie's place or anything to help?
No, Rosie's place does not do anything.
Okay, so there aren't any other folks that are trying to figure out why this is happening for you? Okay, so so have you hollered at Miss Satterwhite?
No, I have not raised my voice. I have not said anything. I have tried to be polite. There are times when there have been times I will admit that I have made faces towards her, but other than that, I do not say anything to her in
Did you
that
send
manner.
anybody else to talk to her
No.
on your behalf? Or?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so
I try to keep the peace and try to keep out of it.
So in February, so Mr. Stemple, there's a way to do this and a way not to do this. And I understand that you're pretty young, probably not in court. So she's testifying. You are going to have an opportunity. This is not the time to talk to each other. I'm going to hear from your fiance, not having you whisper in her ear. So sit quietly. I will turn to you for your testimony. All right. So, all right, Ms. Ajeris, so you meet February 4th, things seem fine. About the third week in February, things go south. Do you know why they go south?
No, Your Honor. I've been trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out if I did something, and I can't think of anything, so I do try to keep to myself because I've been in school, so I try to focus on that and just trying to survive out on the streets just myself.
All
So
right.
I am not trying to have any bad blood with anybody. I'm not trying to be anybody's friend, but I'm not trying to be their enemy. I'm just kind of just there, and I'm not trying to start anything. I'm not trying to have anything happen.
So you came to court finally, about March 12th? What caused you to come to court?
There was an instance against Mr. Nichols where Actually, it was
That
the
you know about, not that you heard
yes,
about.
no,
but that
I
you
know because I experienced it myself.
Okay.
And my fiance, Mr. Stemple, and I, we were walking around Rosie's, just trying to stay away from people.
So inside Rosie's?
No, this was outside of
Around
Rosie's.
All right.
And Mr. Nichols had one of his friends go behind a building, and he went in front. And his exact words were, "You're lucky your bitch is here," and then walked away. Because then at that moment, I thought, "Oh my gosh!"
Who said that?
Mr. Nichols said that,
Okay.
and I thought, "Oh my gosh, we could have been killed."
Why do you think killed?
There was a guy behind us, and there was a guy in front of us, and it was a dark alleyway. And if what he said was, "You're like your bitch is here," and then he walked away, that is my kind of my thing of being like, if I was not there, they would have tried to kill him. And I was there and I witnessed everything, and we were just minding our own business, walking to Rosie's.
Okay. And so that's what you mentioned in, we're heading down Pear Street. We diverted down a different path to
Yes,
avoid individuals. Leroy ran in front of us, had his friend Dee come behind us, and
Yes,
threatened to harm and murder us. They then proceeded to call you a bitch and said that if she wasn't there, they would have killed, and you put in to parentheses Levian. All right. So that's the instance that caused you to come to court.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And did they have weapons that you were aware
I
of?
do not know, Your Honor.
Okay. At very least, you feel that maybe you would have been harmed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And just looking through your petition some more and other information you filed to see if I have any more questions of you. And again, she's testifying, you will have your opportunity. I'm not going to have you talk, all right? It may be best to have you sit in the front row until we hear from you, all right? Okay. Did you have a chance to look at the exhibits that were filed?
Yes,
All
I
right.
did. And
Any
they
comment there?
I did.
Go ahead.
The first one was, I forgot his name, but they were threats to Mr. Nichols, and I do not know who that person is. I do not know anything of these threats. So that has nothing to do with us. Or it has nothing to do with me because I do not know who that person is.
So the Crawford Connor that's
No,
reportedly
never.
these text screen.
They're not at
shots.
Rosie's. I've never met this person. I've never seen this person. I do not know of this person.
All right. Just look like they. So you don't know anything about what was filed?
No,
And how
I
it
do not,
applies?
except for what they submitted. And I looked through them, and do not know why that happened. I have nothing to do with it because I do not know this person.
All right. So when I turn to Ms. Satterwhite as to this order, what am I going to hear about you?
I do not know, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So let me turn to Mr. Stemple. Come on up, and I will hear from you as to your requesting and had a temporary restraining order issued against Mr. Nichols. And the petition looks like exactly the same as as the case number 2464. What would you like to say about why the court should issue this order?
Well, Mr. Nichols has threatened us both multiple times within.
Well, it's you that I'm concerned with. You are asking for an order against him, so it's all about your request.
I've been threatened by him multiple times within Rosie's and outside of Rosie's since I've gotten there. I would say January 12th was the first time I got in there.
Okay.
And it's been like just small remarks throughout. At first, I was like, maybe just joking. I don't know.
What kind of remarks? What were said?
In the beginning, I don't remember, but towards the end, like the last 3 months, I do remember quite a bit.
So this is going on between January and March of this year.
Mhm.
All right. Well, tell me what Mr. Nichols has said to you that has you here in court.
The big incident was the alleyway where he threatened to kill both of us.
So how did he say that?
He said, if your bitch was not here, I would have killed you. And then continue to call her a bitch over and over.
Okay.
And then when he was walking away, she was minding her own business. But he was talking to D, and he was like, next time we'll get him.
So did you believe that Mr. Nichols was going to kill you or harm you? What
He
did
has
that make you
multiple
think?
weapons on him.
He did, you saw that?
I've seen him give it to Rosie's staff.
What
I've seen
weapons? What are you talking about?
I believe there was a switchblade and a flip knife.
Okay.
So a spring-loaded knife.
Again, he's testifying, not anyone else. So, all right. And, all right. So that made you believe that he was at least going to harm you, if not kill you. All right. And so stepping back from that, this was what caused you to come to court, that incident in the alley.
Yes.
All right. So then before that, what was going on?
Before that, it was just little small remarks of him talking about stuff he has done out loud, but he was looking towards directly at me about the firearms that he has have, incidents that he has ran up into, like people at the mall, like mall guards and everything, where apparently a guard and his partner, Giselle, were having, and he was talking about killing them and threatening them with firearms, and that's why they were banned from there.
And so where did this all happen? You say that
This
he
was
was,
the Roses list.
all right. And so,
This was the dining area.
and so you're sitting together or what? How did this come to be?
Me and my fiance were doing homework, and they were talking to staff, but he was looking directly at me.
And talking about other threats to other folks at the mall
Yes.
that were similar. All right. Threats to harm, threats to kill. All right. Anything else?
There was also another incident where me and my fiance were on the ramp outside of Rosie's, right next to the door, and Giselle comes running around the corner saying, "Why are you flipping people off? Why are you flipping people off?" Ran up and got up in her face. I stepped in front, said, "I need you to back off." And I repeated the same thing, back off, over and over and
Was
over.
Mr. Nichols involved in
Yes.
this? Okay.
And then Giselle backed up, screamed for Nichols, asking for him to come over. And then he got up in my face,
What does that mean?
about 6 inches away from my face.
Right? And
then proceeded to tell me to back up myself, even though I had no space to back up, nowhere to go. And I did the same thing I did with Giselle, and I told him to back up over and over. And there was a person behind us, his name, Jack. I need Jack is another individual, but he said that he saw a knife and told staff.
so are you up against a wall or something? You can't back up?
There was 3 other people. There was 2 staff, Jack and my fiance behind me, so I wasn't able to back up unless I was bumping into it.
All right. And so how did this resolve?
It resolved with not really with staff doing anything, but they backed off on their own.
Okay. And then what happened?
Kind of just went on the night, and for these 2 individuals, Giselle and Nichols, and 2 other, they go by Taylor and King, but no one knows what their real name is. They were just talking about it throughout the night. And I was minding my own business, doing homework with her.
So what do you think caused Mr. Nichols to get so close to you? Why did this happen? Do you have any idea?
When Giselle kind of broke up with him and left, he came up and apologized to us, both of us, saying that if he knew that she instigated it, he would have never done it.
So what happened that caused this event outside Rosie's? Do you have any idea?
Giselle said that she was flipping people off, and I just said, I'm not going to allow this to happen. In my head, stepped in front and told her back off.
Okay.
So
you interceded in front of Satterwhite, and then Mr. Nichols came into it.
Mhm.
All right. And then after that, you say Mr. Nichols came up to you and apologized?
About a week later or two,
Okay. Tell me about that.
he just came up to me and tomorrow and said, I apologize. If I knew that she instigated it, then I would have never done it, or I would have talked to her about it.
So did you talk about the other instances where, so this would have been before the alley event?
Yes, it was
Okay.
before that.
All right, so apologizes, and then the alley event. All right. Okay. Anything else in your petition against Mr. Nichols that I should know?
Well, there was also the incident that happened on the bus where they came running up.
The Lacey Transit Center.
Yes, at least
All
Transit
right.
Center. I am kind of fighting them on that, getting a court order to get the video for that, and I'm fighting Rosie's for all the documentary of all the reports that we put
So
in.
at the Lacey Transit Center, what happened there? Tell me from your point of view.
Yeah, there's cameras within the bus and outside the bus that caught all of this.
Well, we're at the hearing now.
Yeah.
And I don't have any video or anything, so I need you to
It's
tell me
a
what
long
happened.
process with that.
Need you to tell me what happened. So what was going on from your
Nichols
point of
ran
view?
onto the bus where the front gates, the front doors open in the middle part, because you have the front and then you have the middle part. He came up on there. We were sitting there. I told her to face forward and mind our own business. Don't interact. Don't say anything. And he proceeded to say, "Let's fight. I'm gonna beat your ass." And I heard Giselle behind
That was
him.
from Mr. Nichols towards you?
Both of us, it seemed like he didn't specifically direct it towards any of us, but it was directed towards us.
All right, so he's on the bus. He says, let's fight, gonna beat your ass. And then what?
Giselle was saying the same things directly towards her because she was naming me off tomorrow. And then Nichols got off, I believe, because the guard started walking towards our direction, and the bus driver got on, closed the doors on Nichols when he got off fully, and then the bus driver asked us if we're good, and I was like, yeah, just minding our own business. We're just trying to get somewhere.
All right, so IT showed some presence. Mr. Nichols got off, and then you rolled away on the bus. All right. Great.
And that was another incident.
Okay.
Last Monday when we left the court, we went to the bus stop. They knew that we were getting on the same bus as them, so they went to the bus beforehand.
Was that the one right out here
Yeah, they
at the
went
top of
around
the
the
hill?
corner, got
Right.
onto the bus. They knew that we were going to be on that bus. We got on. I told her, just mind your own business, keep to ourselves. And they told us that we should get off. We shouldn't be there. There's a protection order. And I said, we're minding our own business. We have places to go. You guys knew that we were going to be on this bus and ignored the whole entire time. They followed the police on their own stuff.
So you got on the bus, they were already on the bus, or you
Yeah,
got?
they went to the stop beforehand. They knew that exact bus that we were going to because there's only two. No, there's only one bus that goes to that stop.
And statements were made that, telling you that you should get off the bus?
Leroy and Giselle were both saying the same thing of telling us to get off the bus because it's their protection.
All right. You stayed on the bus and anything else happened?
They called the police. They were telling the police that they were doing this stuff, and we ignored them all the way through. Told Tamara to keep her head forward towards the bus driver and ignore it. They got off the bus one stop beforehand. We got off the bus at the transit center, and they eyeballed us all the way around the transit center to the front of the transit. And the guards, we told the guards there. They walked over, and then when they saw the guards, they started walking off.
Anything else? Did you look at the exhibits that were filed by, presuming they were filed by Mr. Nichols and Ms. Satterwhite? Did you have a chance to look at those?
Yes.
Can you tell me what they mean to your petition or anything?
I have no clue who that person is. I don't associate with them in any way, shape, or form. What I've heard is that person is actually Emma's street brother. So
you just sort of heard that and around, or?
no, Emma told us that it was her street brother. And
so that's the Crawford Connor person.
yeah.
Okay.
And then
and what does all this have to do with your interactions with Mr. Nichols?
zero clue. I don't know why it was ever put in. I don't know who it is. I don't make threats towards people. My dad always taught me silence is the virtue, and standing strong. Silence is the best way to do things.
So you didn't write any of these?
No.
Okay, great.
And then the second part where it has Emma's name on the top with that whole entire statement, I have no clue what that is. Okay. That was on her own part and her own doing. I don't manipulate or tell people what to do in their life.
So I'm going to turn to Ms. Satterwhite. I'm going to turn to Mr. Nichols in turn. Anything else, Ms. Ajeris?
There have been times where the only thing I can think of is there have been times we've actually left the city just to go somewhere else, just to clear the air. We've had to not stay in Olympia because we were worried we'd be getting attacked. So we've currently been staying down in Centralia and the Tacoma area, and we have not been going up to Olympia unless absolutely necessary.
Okay.
And that is the only thing I have.
Anything else, Mr. Stemple?
Other than I work in Olympia area on the weekends. That's practically it.
Okay, all right. So let me turn to first Mr. Nichols. And again, both of you, you're not talking to each other now. One person is testifying, and I'm going to hear from that person. You're not offering in their testimony. I'll hear from both of you.
Okay.
So, Mr. Nichols, Mr. Stemple's asking for this order against you. There is a temporary order issued. You've heard what he's had to say. I saw, and I don't know if you filed these exhibits or not, but what do you have to say about the court? I presume you don't want this order issued.
No.
All right. So tell me why the court shouldn't do that. What do you know?
So, me and my fiance.
And that's Ms. Satterwhite?
Yes.
Okay.
We were gone for like a week away from Rosie's.
So this is all
In
alleged to have
March.
occurred February, March,
Yeah,
January.
we were
February,
gone
March.
for a week in March. We were in Tumwater.
When was that?
We ended up coming back to Rosie's on the 16th. So
Of what month?
March.
Okay. So you weren't at Rosie's January and February in the beginning of March?
No, we were.
Okay.
We were at Rosie's January and February in we ended up leaving for a week in the middle of March to get away from all the drama
Okay,
and clear our own heads, and then we had came back to these protection orders.
all right. Well, tell me, you've heard certain instances here detailed by these folks. Tell me about the Lacey IT.
The Lacey,
Yeah, what happened there from your point of view?
from my point of view,
Yep.
honestly, it's all just petty. I mean, it's all just back and forth between.
So
both
back and
parties.
forth. So that means that something was said to you by Mr. Stemple?
Yes, there has been things said.
How long have you known Mr. Stemple?
Me, I don't really associate with him like that, so wouldn't necessarily say that I've known him, but
You just knew he was at Rosie's. Is that
Yeah.
where you saw him first?
Yeah.
Okay, so when do you think you first saw him?
Yeah, around January 12th was the
Okay.
first time he had came up in there.
All right, so tell me, since January into, middle of March, what's been happening between you, if anything, and Mr. Stemple?
So there's been numerous incidences where there has been multiple different people being involved in things with him. He's been disrespectful to a lot of people inside the shelter.
So it's you.
Yeah.
This is an order requested against you. So
Yes.
I need to hear your contacts with Mr. Stemple. And
Yes.
tell me about that. Numerous events with other people doesn't help me.
Yeah.
Start trying to think it through
so the
logically
incident
here.
where we were on the ramp and he had gotten in my fiance's face.
Okay.
I was not around and I didn't see this going on. She had called for me and I came around the corner and all I seen was him in her face.
Interface means what?
Like right here, like in her
Okay,
face.
so they were facing each other within inches.
And she was scared, so she was calling for me. So I went up there and I got in his face the same way that he was in hers. And I was telling him, why are you in her face? Like, just asking, like, why are you in her face? This is wrong. Why are you doing this? Just
Okay.
stepping up. And
All right.
then
And did you say anything else? Did you make any comments about what you were going to do to him?
no, all I told him was that I'm not scared of him and that I'm not
Why
going
did
to
you
back down.
think that was you? They're really close. You must have shoved your way in front of your fiance.
Yes.
Okay. And then addressed Mr. Stemple.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I understand about a week later you apologized?
No, I did not apologize at
Never
all.
apologized.
Never apologized. to anybody.
Okay. So you're face to face, very close. You agree, 6 inches about.
Yes.
And do you remember Mr. Stemple telling you to back up?
Yes, he was
Okay.
repeatedly telling me to back up, but I was telling him I'm not going to do that until I get my answer on why he was in her face.
Okay.
But then staff did come out and one of the staff looked at me. So I had put my hands up in the air and I took 2 steps backwards and then turned around to look at my fiance. And as I did that, he looked at me and said, "That's right. Be a good boy."
Okay. All right. So kind of a standoff. Look at me, not at him. All right. Same over there. I want you to keep your peace over there. You're going to hear things you don't like, you don't agree with. I don't want you mean mugging or looking over, rolling your eyes or huffing or puffy. I haven't heard that, but don't. You need to kind of just spin away. That's fine. All right. So you're standing off, you're saying back up. You're not going to back up until you figure out why he was dealing with your fiance. So that was there. And then Rosie's place seems to break it up.
Yeah.
Then you never told me about Lacey IT. What happened there?
We had seen them on the bus. We were going to get on that bus actually to ride that bus, but then we had seen them and we weren't going to get on that bus because they didn't want no altercations happening on the bus. But my party and their party both were saying things.
So what were you saying? And
I went on the bus. I didn't say anything to nobody when I had gotten on the bus. I would just went on the bus to confirm that it was them. And then I had went back to my fiance and I was like, yes, that is them on the bus. Let's go somewhere else.
Okay. So you didn't say to Mr. Semple, let's fight, I'm going to beat your ass.
No.
Okay. Had you ever said something like that to him?
Oh yeah.
When?
In the alley, I didn't say anything about killing him or his partner. I never said anything like that. I don't even carry weapons. I had walked up to him and the words I had said was, "You're lucky your bitch is here." And
Why did you
then I
say
walked
that?
off.
What does
Because
that mean?
it's all a heated situation. We've seen him, and me and my friend had walked over to him because it's been a situation where everybody's been wanting to do this to him. So I'd
So
walked up,
doing what to him? So what does that mean? Okay. So why?
not cause like
Why? What does that statement mean? Lucky your bitch is here. What does that mean? Why are you telling him that? What is that supposed to convey to him?
if okay, it's just something that came out of my mouth and it shouldn't have. I was just saying that as like, oh, you're lucky she's here because if she wasn't, like, we would have probably fought you.
Okay. All right. So you kind of agree.
Mhm.
All right. And then that happened. So why? Why did you do that? Why did the alley event occur?
Because of the incident where he had gotten in my fiance's face.
Okay. So this was payback.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then, right, anything else about your contact? You're with Mr. Stemple or?
No, yeah.
Okay, anything about his fiancee, Miss Agaris?
Nothing involving me, no.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to turn to Ms. Hatterwhite. Now, Ms. Hatterwhite, it's made it clear Ms. Agaris has asked for this order against you at a temporary order. And so I've reviewed this information that you filed from a Crawford Connor, but I want to hear from you. I presume you don't want the court to issue this order. So tell me all about this, what I've been hearing.
Well, I'd like to first make it be stated, I've since left Rosie's place. I'm no longer even near that area because of all of this. My safety has been put on blast, my location, my domestic partner has found me, my domestic ex. So I cannot be at Rosie's place. So all of this drama is kind of petty to me. Second off, when it comes to the IT incident, yes, I did get heated. Yes, was I yelling? 100%. But was I facing her? No. My husband had me turned around away from her because he knows how my anger can get.
So you were outside the bus?
Yes, I was
so
outside the bus. He told me that they were on the bus. I flipped. I was like, fuck this, fuck that. Because I do have a temper. And I'm not going to apologize for that. She keeps looking at me, the disrespectfulness. It was a heated situation. We left. I've never laid hands on this female. I don't carry weapons. I haven't been near her.
Let me step you back to the IT situation. What's being alleged is that you threatened to.
I never threatened to beat her ass. I said, get off the bus. That's what I said. Get off the bus. Right. Tomorrow, come off the bus. Those are my exact words, Your Honor.
Why would you say that?
So I can have a conversation with her about all this heated issues. I'm not going to put hands on that woman. I'm 9 weeks pregnant. I'm not fighting nobody.
So you're asking someone to get off the bus because they're waiting to leave on the bus.
100%.
In a loud voice. And you're swearing. Do you have a sense of how that might make someone feel?
Yeah, but in the moment, I did not carry on.
How do you think that would make someone feel?
Uncomfortable. But being flipped off makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, do you think if you were in that situation, feel threatened in any way?
No, I would not, Your Honor.
Why not?
Because I said to come off the bus. That's it. I said, I want to talk. Come off the bus. That's it. That's all it was. I haven't laid hands on her.
Okay.
I haven't touched her. I haven't got close enough to touch her. And I don't want to.
Well, all right. So that's the IT situation. What about the alleyway?
I wasn't present for that. No.
All right. That's no one's saying you were. And then when you're all in Rosie's at the, I suppose, the lunch area, they're studying, they say, what was going on there?
We left, us four, me and him, and then the two others, Taylor and King. We went into the quiet room, which is a quiet environment where we talk And everyone uses that quiet room. No one's to say who were we talking about, because I have my own issues that I talk to
So
my
tell
friends
me
about.
what happened there. Nothing? This
Nothing,
didn't happen?
nothing.
So your fiance here says that he saw you face to face.
Yeah.
With.
Oh, on the
Mr.
ramp.
Stemple.
You're talking about the ramp, not the
Okay.
cafeteria area.
All right.
On the ramp. That day when I came up, because this was off property, they were flipping us off, coming up the property. So I'm like, I come up, like, why are you flipping us off? What's the reason behind that? It's disrespectful, it's rude. What's the reason? He steps in, as he said, back up, back up, back up. I start walking down the ramp. I call for my husband as I'm walking down the ramp. Because we're face to face. I don't appreciate
So when you
that.
say your husband, do you mean
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Okay. So you leave as you're watching
Mhm.
this happen.
And then he comes up, gets in his face, and those two,
Who's he?
Leroy, my
Okay.
husband, comes up, gets in Mr. Levi's face, and they have theirs toe to toe.
Mhm.
I'm at the bottom of the ramp at this point, so it no longer involves me.
Okay.
I removed myself from that situation.
So tell me about these exhibits that you filed. What do they have to do with all this?
That was Connor, their parties. After that long thing that Emma had posted, it revealed everyone's locations, to which I said my domestically violent ex had found that on Facebook and was able to now know where my location is, therefore putting me in separate safety issues because of all
So
this.
this is from Emma Poole.
Yes, but they're
Okay.
all in cahoots. That's what I believed, Your Honor. That's why I submitted it. I
Okay.
didn't know who wrote it, who posted it. I just submitted it because it's all I had at the moment.
Okay. And then there's
The threats that we
that's
were
what this
receiving.
is all
Yes.
about. All right. And this may have had to more do with the other two folks that withdrew their petition. That's what it seems like. Okay. So it doesn't look like it. All right. Thank you. See if I have any other questions for you before I. Anything else on this petition, this request for this order from Ms. Agaris?
I would just like to say, like, I don't want anything involved with these two individuals. I graduate in June. I'm supposed to be moving back to my home state of Arizona to give birth. I don't have time for this. That's why I'm really confused on why this petition should continue. I don't even stay at Rosie's anymore. I'm not near it. I stay away from certain people around it because of all of this.
Right. See if I have anything else I need clarification on. All right. So I don't find there's unlawful harassment being committed by Ms. Satterwhite, who's also known as Lexus Marie, against Mr. Jarris, nor against Mr. Stemple. That wasn't part of the petition. But I do find Mr. Nichols, yes. Given our discussion here, it's been repeatedly making statements that have put Mr. Stemple in fear of harm. You admitted fairly that what you've done is payback in the alley for what apparently you misunderstood elsewise, or maybe understood. I don't know exactly on the ramp what it's all about. And so I do find that you've committed unlawful harassment against Mr. Stemple. So I am issuing an order that prevents you from having contact with Mr. Stemple. I am dismissing the petition from Ms. Ageris concerning Ms. Satterwhite, but I think this has been very constructive, and I think you both have agreed you want nothing to do with each other. You both have lives to live. I don't know if either of you are Rosie's or not, but that's for Rosie to deal with. I can't tell them how to run their shop. Ms. Ageris?
Yes, and regarding with school, the last time we were here, we do go to the same school, and
So I'm not issuing,
I have
stop
this-
looking at each other, and nobody talks unless I allow it. So I'm not issuing this order.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not issuing this order. So the order today ends. So there are no limitations on, there's not a finding of unlawful harassment. So there's not a basis to issue an order. So, but what I'm saying is the two of you don't want to have anything to do with each other. If you're in the same class or on the bus or at the same grocery store, just know that you're not interested in each other and stay away from each other and don't say anything to each other. It's that simple. That's it. All right. The two of you, though, Mr. Stemple is now protected for Mr. Nichols. And Mr. Nichols, you're not to have any contact with Mr. Stemple. Now, Mr. Stemple, are you at Rosie still?
I've been going up and down. Rosie's has told us because we have these orders, we're not allowed to come back. So
Okay. All right.
if
so
they're not
then you
going to
won't
be there, then I would have to talk to Rosie to see if I can go back.
All right. So, Mr. Nichols, are you using Rosie's Place services? Okay. Well, so don't contact Mr. Stemple in any way, shape, or form, through family, through friends, through social media. Don't send anyone else to talk to him. Don't attempt, if he's on the bus first, he's on the bus first. If you're on the bus and he gets on, then don't have any contact with him. Maybe move to the back or the front to stay away. You don't make any comments. You don't stare him down. You don't mean mug him. None of that. And I'm going to order that you sounds like so. Mr. Stemple, you don't have to tell me where you work if you want to keep that private.
It's a
Or-
private company, so the only way possible them getting on there is trespassing.
Okay,
So-
all right. So, write this up. So, Mr. Nichols, then, so I'm going to say 500 feet away from Mr. Stemple. Wherever he is, his home, work, school, himself. And don't try to contact him in any way. And this is going to be in effect for the next year. It'll end on March 31st of next year of its own accord. Mr. Stemple, if you feel that you want the court to consider extending this, then you'd have to come back to the court within 3 months of March 31st, ask for a hearing, give Mr. Nichols the opportunity to be heard again as well, and determine if the order should continue. But Mr. Nichols, it's going to go a long way that if you don't violate this order, all right? When you fill this out, we're going to give everybody copies. So stay right where you are. So we have Sedaris, come on up here, and Mr. Stemple, come on up here, and I'll hand you those orders. You stay right where you are. Got those, there you go. And then the two of you can be on your way. That's it for today. And then I'll ask Mr. Nichols and Ms. Satterwhite to stay in the courtroom till about 20 after the hour.
I have to use the restroom. I'm sorry.
I'll ask the two of you be on your way, please. Yeah. Sure. Let them be out the door. Mr. Nichols, why don't you have a seat over there? Stay here until 20 after, and then go ahead and go visit a seat in the audience there. Go ahead and have that. Yeah. Actually, Mr. Nichols, why don't you come on up here and grab these? These are copies for you and stuff. And then have a seat there, and then just give it 5 minutes before you leave. All right. 2569. So let me put you under oath here while I've got you, Ms. Griffith, and raising your right hand, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Heck, you got to come back. Mr. Heck, start your video and unmute. You got to stay with us. You having trouble with your video? You got to stay with us.
Just push the wrong button, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Raise your right hand, Mr. Heck. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. So again, let's see, 2569, and I'm looking back and forth here. I've got a couple of screens, and our file is electronic, so I will be listening. I'm just looking at the file. So that open. So Mr. Heck, you're here. I'm wondering, did you receive the petition that was filed in this case, the temporary restraining order, all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
When did you get that?
Last Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay, so 25th or 26th?
Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't have proof in the file that you were given notice. All right. And are you prepared to respond to this today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Ms. Griffith, you're still asking for this order to continue against Mr. Heck?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Heck, do you object to this order being issued?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So let me just re-review and refamiliarize myself with this before I start taking testimony. So let me turn first to Ms. Griffith. Again, I've re-reviewed your statement, a couple of screenshots, it looks like, of text message reminders that you filed along with your petition. And all right, so what would you like to tell me about why the court should issue this order?
So he moved out in November. We kind of saw each other. And then on my birthday, which was February 19th, got in an argument, asked him to leave. I left my house because I didn't want to be there. Came back. All of our personal items was on my porch. From there until I filed, I would see him multiple times a day, drive by my house, watching my house. Like he saw a friend of mine come over at 8:30 in the morning and then started with his messaging. I blocked him on social media, then the text messages, then multiple emails. My job has been compromised. I've been informed by my corporate position that I very well may get fired over the screenshots of behavior of one of my staff managers that I talked to him about during our relationship. I mean, all in all, ever since this complete split up, I have just been unable to leave my house, unable to work really, because I have to be very careful with how I perform my job at this point. My whole life has been compromised over this behavior.
So how long you were in a relationship then?
Yes.
Mr. Heck, how long was that?
We lived together for 8 years or so.
Okay. And there was prior domestic violence committed against you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We have that. There was there was an agreement, I think it was the city of Lacey, and that case was dismissed after Mr. Heck went through what we needed to do there.
Yes.
But that was founded. Probable cause was founded there. And then, so then November 24th of 2024.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's when he
got his own house with his kids.
All right. And so did you have separate houses then?
Yes.
Okay. So you had, either he had moved out of your house into a new place.
He moved out of mine.
All right. And then what was the nature of the relationship at that point?
We were still seeing each other, trying to make it work, but it wasn't working. As the longer the time went on, the less amount of time we spent together. Like for when he came over on my birthday, which was February 19th, unannounced, by the way, the main complaint was that I hadn't contacted him for 3 days. But at that point, why would I? I mean, I don't know your plans. I don't know what you want, but you can't assume my life is going to continue on what you want.
So February 19th, he comes to your home, and that seems to be the final.
Like the breaking point. Yeah, it's my birthday. He's yelling at me. I didn't contact him for 3 days. Well, dude, you could have picked up the phone. Also, ended up asking him to leave my house.
Okay, and he did?
He did. And then when I came back from whatever, I can't remember, I think I went and got breakfast or something, all of our personal items were on my porch.
So as if they were,
like
your
everything
thought was that Mr. Heck delivered your personal items to your porch?
Yep.
Okay.
And then made it very clear that we weren't going to be seeing each other, because why would all of our private stuff, my lotion, everything that was his house, why would it be dumped on my porch otherwise?
Okay. And then, So then February 19th and after, because he came to the court middle of March,
Yes.
so something happened.
So I got really uneasy. My friend came over. We were going to go to Costco. I immediately got a text message after he came over saying, I have a new boyfriend. I broke his heart, this and that.
So is that what the exhibits that you filed
Yes.
here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. New man, you wanted to break my heart.
Yeah.
And so that was all March 10th,
Yeah.
it says. Is that right?
Roughly, yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't immediately after. It was a few weeks after when we were going to go to Costco, me and my friends. So.
Okay. So around March 10th is when things started.
Yeah. And in between
Making-
February 19th and March 10th, I'd see him drive by my house multiple times a day. I had to get a new security system because his phone number and email were the contacts, all the notification.
So driving by your house. So do you live in a neighborhood, a cul-de-sac, what?
I live in a neighborhood, and the neighborhood he lives in is a different neighborhood. There's multiple other ways to get to where he was going. It'd be an intentional, like, drive by my house type situation.
Right. And so driving by, any stopping, any parking, anything of that
No,
nature?
nothing like that. Odd things would happen since like February and March. Like I went to the coffee stand. The girl who makes my coffee told me this big long story about how I'm cheating on him and this and that. And I went, okay, that's cool. Can I, have my coffee? I stopped by Yamaha to pick up my bike. My friend who was involved in our DV a long time ago told me he stopped by a couple of times. I'm like, great. So the places I go, the people that I know there are telling me things that are making me concerned because I just want to not be bothered. I don't want my kids to be scared. My ex that I have a daughter with called me because they wanted to go to her soccer game. And I'm like, no.
Okay. So let me go back.
But I feel like I shouldn't have had to block on multiple email address, multiple social medias, and multiple text messages to be left alone and compromising my job. I have a once in a lifetime job. If I lose my current job, my salary will never be the same. It's demographically related to where I work.
How is your job being compromised? And understand what you're doing and what you're alleging he's doing.
So one of my good friends that I'm not friends with anymore is now my staff member. We were coworkers and now I'm her direct boss. And over the years, I've talked to him about her behavior, the way she's treated me, things we've done together, things like that. He screenshotted all of that over and sent it to her, and it went immediately to HR. And I work for a corporation, and now I have a conflict of interest at my job.
And when was that done?
I believe 2 or 3 weeks ago, because I filled out my paperwork Thursday, the week before I filed. That's when my job gave me that information.
Okay, so that's probably what pushed you to come to court?
That and the having to get a new security system, calling my ex about my daughter's soccer game to go to my daughter's events and things like that. Like, I can't have you compromising my job and my kids. It was one thing when you were just bothering me, but like watching my cameras, seeing people come in my house, like what is the chances at 8:30 in the morning you would see somebody come over so we could go to Costco at 10?
All right. So the screenshots from texts you're saying that you had with Mr. Heck during your relationship about this person you're supervising, that was sent to the Human Resources Department of your
to my staff member, and then she's elevated. Yeah.
Okay. And then that went to Human Resources, and now here we are. Yeah. And so was this information, is this old information?
It's old information, but it was just at least a year.
Okay.
So me and her were friends for 3 years. And then I told her when I was going for this position, if I get hired on this position, our friendship is going to have to change and be work related only. So at least from probably December, January prior for 3 years.
Okay. All right. So your impression is that Mr. Heck sent that and he would have had to look back, collect it, and then send it on to the person that you're a supervisor of.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then driving by. So how do you know that?
I can see his car. I can see him in his car.
When you're in your home, or is this when you're reviewing?
No, I don't review it. It just happened to like go in and out of my house. And I'm like, oh, cool. There he is driving by again. Oh, I'm on my bike leaving. Oh, here we are. Oh, I'm turning in to go to my house. Here he is at the stop sign. Like just actual physical me seeing with my eyes, not reviewing the camera footage.
And this is the house that you formerly shared?
Correct.
Okay. So looking, so that's the Golf Club Road.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And does that butt up against the Elm Highway?
No, ma'am. It's like Pacific Avenue is the roundabout, and then College Street is the next street over behind
Okay.
me.
Got
So
it.
it is a neighborhood. It's not on a main road. It's a side road off of a main road.
All right. Looking through your information, see if I have some other questions.
And then like there's been other things, like I was removed from my kid's Skyward account and he put himself as the guardian, so I had to go fix that.
So, yeah, I did have a question about that. So that's the schools?
That's the
system?
schools, and we don't have any shared children. So I had to.
What is that system for? It's
So it's for conferences, grading, absences, how they're doing, emergencies, who's in charge of them. And so I had to go resubmit all the paperwork for me and my daughter's father, and then me and my mom, because we take care of my disabled son. So I had to do it for multiple schools.
Why do you attribute that to Mr. Heck?
Because I was removed from guardian and he was put on primary when I went to the school. That's what
For a daughter that is not biologically his?
Yeah, I
He's
don't know
not a
what
guardian of?
Yeah, no, there's no, so anything related to him and my kids. So I don't know why that happened, but when I went to the school, that's what they told me is he's the guardian. He has a daughter that's in school. So I don't really know what happened, but I know that I had to go and prove that I was the parent to my children, get them to reinstate my Skyward and remove him as guardian from both of my kids.
And he has some kids at the same school?
He has one kid at the high school my son goes to. So it was really unrelevant to the elementary school my daughter goes
All right,
to.
so is the elementary school. All
Yeah.
right. So this threat, you say to send personal videos and photos that you've shared over 8 years. What's that about?
So he sent me an email after I blocked him on text messages and social media and whatnot, saying something along the lines as if I talk to anybody about him, he's gonna share those personal stuff to everybody and he's not scared and he's ready, and a bunch of nonsense like that. And then my coworker started getting the private messages him and I sent. But I mean, like after he left our personal intimate items on my porch and then sent me that email.
Okay.
And
to
then,
your
like-
knowledge, have any of your personal information that you've shared together been released to anyone?
I don't
Haven't
know.
heard.
I haven't heard back, but it's a very touchy situation at this point.
Okay. So when you talk about blocking him on texts and social media, so you tell me about that.
So like we weren't talking and then I would get a message and I'm like, I'm not dealing with this, block. So I block on one platform, then I get a text message, block on that platform. Then I'd get an email, block on that platform. Then I'd get another email from a different email address, blocked. Then I got a call from a phone in his daughter's name, block. Like,
And this was sometime after the 10th.
yeah,
of
it was,
March?
yeah, it was like from like February 19th to like March 10th-ish. Since he's been served with the temporary order, I have heard no nonsense, but I can't allow the door to open and the flood comes in. Because I've already been very compromised in my life.
Okay, so there's some discussion on March 11th about getting things out of the garage. Is that,
There's nothing in the garage. There's a broken TV. He moved out in November. He's already taken all his stuff. Those are just things he wants to get access to my house, I believe. And there's a broken TV. Cool. Because that's like December, January, February since we started fighting. That was 3 months to get all your stuff out.
okay. Anything else before I turn to Mr. Heck?
The only thing I think that sparked off the sending the things out is because about 8 years ago when we got together, his ex-wife said that I was his cheating partner and I was mean to her, and I told her I was sorry and I hope she had a good life from here on out, and that his behavior was unhinged in reflection to what she sent me, 8 years ago, saying that he's cheating on her with me. So I think that.
So recently you had contact with her, you mean?
Yeah, because they moved out, and I apologized to her and moved on.
Okay.
That was all.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Heck, then there's been a temporary order issued on behalf of Ms. Griffith, and you've had an opportunity to look at all the information then here today. Then I turn to you about why the court shouldn't issue this order.
Well, one, there's a lot of falsities to what was just said. There was one email sent from my .com, which was the only one which I believe was submitted for evidence. That was the only email I sent. Yes, I did call Dakota's father because my daughter wanted to actually go watch her play soccer and say hi to her.
Dakota is
daughter.
Griffith's daughter, and you contacted Dakota's
Mr.
father,
Stroh.
okay,
so my daughter could go say hi to her and watch her play a soccer game. It wasn't for myself.
okay, and so you agree there was that contact, but it was one contact in order for your kid to play with another kid or go
Correct.
see a
My daughter's 18, but they've been together for 7 years, and she just wanted to go see her and say hi. And originally, I had blocked everything on Facebook.
If she's 18, why is it necessary for you to intercede with her father?
I asked Danielle's child's father if my daughter could come to the park and watch her play. At which point he said, "I can't talk to you. I have to go."
Okay. But she was 18. She could have gone on her own without you interceding?
I just wanted to ask. I didn't want her just to go over there.
Okay. All right. And that was, let's see, I'm looking at, you mentioned the exhibits that were filed here, and you said, yes, you did send that one email. That was March 10th?
Correct.
Okay.
I believe it was March 11th,
right.
8:41 p.m.
Okay. I'm just looking at this. It says March 10th sometimes. Yeah, and then there's other ones. So there's one, appears to be from you. You wanted to break my heart. That's the March 10th, I think. At least it's titled that. And then I have nothing of yours be reaching out for restraining order. So that appears to be from Ms. Griffith. And then maybe your response, can't believe you could spew. Is that yours?
Correct.
March 11th. Okay. And this was soon after. And then something about cinder blocks and a TV and stuff. When was that?
Correct. I submitted some photos and text messages to the email, which has a photo that states it's a pile of my belongings, which includes a floor jack, a chop saw, oil pan, a truck bed unloader, and a few other random things that were piled in the garage, which were stated by her.
Okay. And so you moved out or had got your own place in November?
Correct. She, November 21st of 2023, she insinuated I was, and I will quote, fucking my daughter. At which point there's also text messages submitted that she calls my daughter my wife, and how cute it was that I was getting my wife coffee at the coffee stand. And yes, the text message I sent to her friend was retaliation for her reaching out to my kids' mother, who she had no association with at all.
And we talked about the friend, the one that she's supervising at her job. So
correct. I stated that maybe she should know exactly what she thinks of her friends.
Okay. All right.
And at Yamaha, I'm a business owner, and I stopped in to do a delivery.
Let me ask you about the school account here. Anything about that?
Yes, I was labeled as legal guardians on hers, and she was labeled as legal guardian on my daughter.
Okay, so
somewhere in the
hear
school
from Ms. Griffith that she had to unwind all that. Do you know what happened there?
It's been like that for years. She was the legal guardian on my daughter's account, and apparently I was the legal guardian on her account. I had to go to the high school as well.
All right. Did you do anything with the school and say, take my name off of that account?
I did not touch anything with hers.
Okay. All right. And then the driving by.
Yes, Your Honor. I take college to 22nd by Mountain View Elementary. I go to golf club. I turn left on 14th, and then I turn right on Sleater Kinney and go to the coffee stand I've been going to for the last 5 years.
Okay. So
That is my
takes you,
morning routine.
that takes you past her house.
I used to go down that road all the way. I stopped going down her road, and I turned the stop sign before her block.
Okay. And when did you stop doing that?
When I seen the gentleman walking into her house, and yes,
When was that?
March 3rd.
Okay. So early March. All right. And I kind of interrupted you a few times. Anything else you want to tell me?
I do have a character witness. I believe she's here about some of the
Where?
statements that were made on the Zoom call.
Oh, okay. A character witness. So just to say that you're a good person?
Somebody who
Or-
knows about the claim from
Okay.
beating her up.
Well, you mean the assault charge that was
Correct.
before this court? That's been founded, and you went through the program, it looks like, and you got that dismissed.
Correct.
And that's how I see it. I don't need to go plow that anymore. There's already been a previous probable cause finding by the court. There was a court action. You went through the program, and then that was dismissed. So I don't need to hear any more about that. That has been founded.
But I mean,
Is
it's
there
also,
anything else that witness would be testifying to?
she can be a character witness for my character since the time that I've left.
Yeah.
I have had no contact, and I have made it very clear that I didn't want to be part of her life.
Who is it that's here on your behalf?
Shelley.
Is Shelley? I don't see anyone on Zoom.
She may have had to go.
Okay.
I had a couple others as well, but they had to go to work. So
Okay. All right. Well, it wouldn't be relevant to go tread any information from the assault, and character evidence. Not really relevant here either. If that's all she was going to speak to, if she had some information as to a witness, but she's not present any longer. All right. Anything else, Mr. Heck?
yeah, I have no problem with a no contact order. That's perfectly fine, but I don't see a reason to
object to that. When I
What's
asked
that?
you earlier, you said you objected to the court issuing this order.
I do, but at times it seems that it's the contact part of it, and just being a civil human being. If that's the case, then no contact would be both ways. My personal thought is a cease and desist both ways about our names in anybody's lives, and keeping us separate and not having anything said about either one of us. As far as photos go, we can delete photos. She also has photos of myself.
All right.
And as far as
Well-
the sex toys and things like that went, it wasn't like I just dropped them off on the porch. I wrapped them up in a yellow bag. I tied it, and I set all of her personal belongings on the front step and left.
So, all right. And then this allegation of as you said, you've mentioned it there, that neither one of you should reveal information that was part of your relationship to anyone else.
Correct.
That has been preserved on emails or texts. So. Okay. So anything else, Mr. Heck?
No.
I'm just looking through things real quick here. So, Ms. Griffith, you did not include Dakota. That's your daughter?
Yes.
You didn't include any children on your petition. Is that purposeful?
No, I just didn't know because she wasn't our child together.
Okay. And she's how old?
She's almost 10.
Okay. Any other kids under 18?
My son is 17, Deacon.
Okay. But so this
up until the soccer thing, he wasn't bothering them. It was strictly directed towards me.
Okay.
And there
All
was
right.
no like family bothering or anything, but,
All right. Okay, so Mr. Heck, given the information you gave to the subordinate that also went up to the Human Resources Department, obviously you had to kind of dig that up, very intentionally collect that, very intentionally supply that with an intent to harass. And given the court has to consider there has been a previous finding of domestic violence committed against Ms. Griffith by you. However, fortunately, you've taken that course of treatment and that's been dismissed. So I do find that there's sufficient evidence here under the law to issue this order protecting Ms. Griffith from you. And I'll sign off on that order. And I think you said it very well, no contact of any kind. Now, Ms. Griffith, that's up to you to counsel your children and to be
yes,
there.
ma'am.
You know, you've got one who's old enough, one that you are in charge of, who they have contact with. I'll give that to you. And so, Mr. Heck, then I'm going to say that now, if I understand, you both have kids at the high school.
Yes.
Is that right? You both have kids at the elementary school?
No, ma'am.
No.
No.
So there are events at the high school.
My son doesn't attend events at the high school, so.
He might graduate, he might go to school.
Yeah,
might
he
have
goes
to have
to
something
school,
there.
but-
And his children there. So what I'm going to do here is just say, what high school is that?
North Thurston, ma'am.
North Thurston. All right. So what I'm going to say is, Mr. Heck, you're just stay 1,000 feet away from Ms. Griffith, from her home or workplace, wherever you know she is. However, I'm going to make an exception here that this does not, it's not a violation if you're at North Thurston High School for your children's events.
Thank you.
So,
My question, Your Honor,
Yep.
is if I'm out eating and she shows up, am I in violation of the order then?
no, Ms. Griffith, if she walks into the restaurant and you're seated and having your meal, then Ms. Griffith asked for this order. She should then abide by the orders she asked for, saying that she is concerned for her safety from you and not go there. So let me write this up, and then this will be in the court file. Mr. Heck, you can access that, or you can contact my clerks and they'll assist you with that. And then we're going to hand Ms. Griffith a hard copy here today, unless you just want to receive it by email.
Email's fine.
All right, then that's the end of the hearing, and you can both be on your way.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Excuse me. Ooh, 3 more cases. Got, all right. So Ms. Carnes, unmute if you would. So we're 10 to 12, and we could come back. Some of the, I can't get all of these done during the lunch hour. We do have, yeah, just sit here for an hour and a half. They could take worst case scenario.
I don't mind. It's
You don't
up
mind?
to you. I don't mind at all.
Me.
I can adjust my
All right. Okay. So my thought is, and I'm going to, people thought they were just going to be here for the morning, but I'm going to just kind of power through. We've got 3 other cases you've kind of all seen. These can take some time. So Ms. Carnes, are you ready to continue on this morning, or do you have to be somewhere?
Oh, I'm good to go, Your Honor. This is totally fine.
All right. Not sure where to take that up. I'm just going to check with everybody else. Ms. Norton, Kylie Norton, are you there? Kylie Norton.
Yes, I'm here.
Zoom. Start your video. And Susan Rawl. Susan Rawl.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
There you go. All right. So again, it's 10 to 12. I'm willing and able to go into the lunch hour, but Ms. Norton, did you have something that you needed to do?
No, I'm fine staying.
Susan Rawl, did you have
I'm
something? You're good to go? All right.
I'm good, ma'am.
And then finally, I see Mr. Johnson's back. Or I saw him. Maybe he's not now. We have the O'Briens, Mr. Johnson. So
Miss O'Brien is here, Joel.
So Attorney Johnson is who I'm looking for. And Ms. Paris, raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. Ms. Carnes, you'd raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. So give me a moment just to get the documents and petition and so forth up before me. So let's see, there was a temporary restraining order issued against Ms. Paris, protecting Ms. Carnes. And that's what we're going to talk about today, whether that continues after today. So Ms. Carnes, are you still asking the court for this order?
I read Molly's statement where she said that she has no interest in ever contacting me again, which is honestly really all I want. But I think I would feel more safe if we just had this just kind of like as an insurance, kind of like, because I am worried that like she may not stick to that.
Well, Ms. Paris, do you object to this order issuing?
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
a little silly.
Then let's have a hearing. And I'll start out with Ms. Carnes and know from both of you. Let me just, I've had a lot of hearings and I want to re-review what we had here so that I know where I'm coming from. And then I'll turn to Ms. Carnes first, and I'll hear from Ms. Paris. And all right. All right, so Ms. Carnes, then you asked for this order, a temporary order was issued, so this was around March 17th that you came to the court. Tell me why this court should issue this order.
So I was looking through and I found that the first time I was contacted by Molly was back in July of 2023. And it's just been kind of a constant stalking of my profiles.
When you say that, what does that mean to you?
So it was like multiple times a day, I would get a notification that her username viewed my profile on TikTok. She would message me. I was also under the impression.
Let me step you back though. On TikTok, that's out in the public domain and you expect people to look at that. How is that stalking in your sense?
Because she would message me about my videos, accusing me that it was about her partner, which is my ex-fiance. And
so a message would occur after you saw that she accessed your TikTok. Then you'd get the message, and the message would say that. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So,
just kind of that he really just thinks that I really am interested in being with my ex Chandler, which I have honestly, I have no interest in speaking to them again, either of them. I just, I hate that I had to make every single one of my profiles private just so that I could live my life without having to worry that like I'm being watched. Because that's like such an unsafe feeling. When I
all right, so then so the messages were that something about an ex.
Yeah, and then there was times when there was threats, which I submitted one of them.
Yeah, the one that you talked about back in November, is that what you're talking about? Being threatened to knock my teeth down my throat after I called her out for once again stalking my profile. So that goes back to November 2nd.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was, you had noticed she visited one of your TikTok, yes, or what? And then
I was hanging out with her partner when they were split up. Me and her partner had become friends again, and she was very worried because she loves them and she wants to be with them. And so like, felt a little insecure and took it out on me when the second that I was told like I wasn't wanted around, I left. I blocked on everything. I was like, okay, cool. This is my escape finally, because this has been multiple years now of a very toxic, abusive situation that I just don't want to be a part of it.
Jump it back. So November 2nd, you get that, and you didn't come ask for an order. 5 months later, you come for an order. So what did you think that statement meant at that point, threatening to knock your teeth out?
Well, to be honest, I understand where Molly's coming from because I also used to be very protective over Chandler. And so like the thing that made me worried was Chandler and Chandler's family warning me about Molly and all like telling me that she was a scary person. But I figured that like, I had Chandler around at that time and I thought, I would be okay. And I'm also just used to rolling over, especially in this dynamic relationship. It's just very messy. And I think I just figured I would let it, and we talked it through was the thing. And we both realized that we were being lied to, about things. I was told she was an abuser, like we talked it through. So that's why I didn't report anything.
Okay. And so after that November threat, and then you talked things through with Ms. Paris.
Yeah. And I thought we were okay.
All right. That's good. And then after that, the thing that got you to come to court was
then all of a sudden, I got a call from my friend who was in town. I see her twice a year. She was at Buffalo Wild Wings. She wanted me to come, which is like just a few minutes down the road from me, right? So I drove there to go meet her because I feel like as the victim of abuse, I can decide if I feel comfortable going to a restaurant that my abusive ex is a cook at. I wasn't planning on seeing her. I thought she would be in the back cooking. And I didn't speak to her at all. However, a few days later, I then received a message from Molly, which I submitted about going to that restaurant. And like, then it was another message and then another message. And it was just happened to be one of the like profiles that I forgot to block when I went through my block list, and it was all in my message requests. And then I didn't respond. And she then said, in one of the messages, like, you should have fucking responded to the first message, because now I'm going to tell the whole 9 yards or something like that. I'm sure you have the picture in front of you. But
so you added 3 images. You added 3 images to your petition, and it's nearly impossible for you to know when these happened and who writes what. So
okay.
Maybe
I'm sorry. I thought I had. I know the first time I sent in stuff, things were corrupted, so things might not have fully been sent through the second time.
So they just say 123 and 128 and time and sluggy lady, and I can't determine who's
lady is Molly's account.
Okay.
And so that's a screenshot of my message request on Instagram, because I don't have her added on there, but I did forget to block. And so then all of a sudden, and I didn't even notice the messages at first, because like I said, they're in my requests, so I didn't see them right away. But when I realized that, because I haven't spoken to any of them since December, so I just figured clean cut, never have to deal with it again. And then all of a sudden I'm receiving message after message, and she's viewing all my stories again. And I'm scared of getting pulled back into that toxicity, and from messages from the ex and her current partner, and messages from her herself saying that she gets violent and abusive when she drinks. It scares me.
Did you ever see that when you knew her?
I did not, because I've only ever seen her twice in person. I've never really interacted much with her in person.
Right.
I mostly just know of her through stories from Chandler, which was like a year and a half of a story of like Molly abusing her. And so I don't know what's true and what's not. And so that's why I just figured, and I'm not the type of person, I just wanted to like let it blow over, but I had my therapist and my care coordinator and all of my friends that have been watching this go on for years just finally just be like, you have to do something. So I am.
Right. Okay. All right. And anything that you wanted to comment on what was filed by Ms. Paris?
Just the idea that it's a retaliation. It's really not. If it was, I would have, gone with the years of abuse evidence that I have on my phone against her partner if it was retaliation. And I'm not doing that because I just want this to be over. But I also really respect the fact that Molly's willing to not reach out to me again. And because that's at the end of the day what I want, because in a way, it's like, I know that me going to the restaurant her partner works at upset her clearly. But for me, I feel like it's better to face the devil you know than the one you don't. So like, I know how Chandler hits. I don't know how Molly does, but I've heard stories and that just scares me. And I just think that like, I want out fully, and I just want to move forward with my life, and I can't do that if every move I'm making on social media is being stalked. It makes me paranoid. And I don't want to live that way anymore. There's a reason that I have walked away. There's a reason I moved homes. Like I want to leave for real, which includes having my ex's girlfriend leave me alone. But I appreciate the response. And I understand why Molly might think some of the things that she does, but I just want out, and I don't want to get hurt in the process.
All right. So, all right. So, Ms. Paris, then you did file a 4-page response, and I appreciate that. It's always helpful to have things put to writing. And I've had an opportunity to look at that before court, and again, re-reviewing things. So I'm on the right page here. Anything else, Ms. Paris?
Yes, I would like to say there has been contact between Miranda and Chandler's mother, Chandler herself, and she has reached out to both of Chandler's siblings who are younger than us and definitely younger than her. And she has been let know. Chandler had explained to her after everything that has happened.
I don't want to hear anyone talking to me about what Chandler is saying.
It is because
not of issue.
Miranda has been let know that I was misrepresented. So I do think it's interesting that she's continuing to bring up the fact that she's heard stories. Chandler has a year and a half of this, but it's within the last few months, like at the beginning of everything, Chandler reached out and was like, hey, by the way, I did make up like all of that. So I'm not going to keep disrespecting Molly and choosing to hang out with you because it wasn't fair that I treated her like that, basically. And also mainly just this whole concept of that I have been continually messaging her and stalking her. I cannot comment on anything from the July stuff because I honestly don't remember at all. But what I do have is the messages on TikTok, because the whole reason I had reached out onto her TikTok account, besides looking, because it's social media, she saw that I viewed her account, and then she had made a post on her story saying like, I see you, bitch, you mad? And so I replied, and I was like, oh, no, I'm not. Blah, blah, blah. And that's where you see the ones from me threatening her the first time on November 2nd. And I don't understand where she's gathering this idea that she's in danger if she's continually reaching out to me which is shown in the first exhibit where she
The
came
petitioner's
to
exhibits?
Or
your exhibits?
my exhibits.
Yeah.
So exhibit A, I guess. And this is also why I wanted to argue at least the drug assessment.
These are from December 11, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And the threat happened on November 2nd. We became friends basically that day after finding out that we were both getting lied to. And she wanted all three of us to be friends. She came to pick up drugs from my place of residence, which is why I think it's funny that she's filing for a drug assessment and talking about my
this court
drinking.
isn't going to be ordering anything like that. No matter what I do, we don't have that authority. So, but this is evidence then that you've been having this.
We've been having a situation where she wants to hang out, and the last contact that I have of her is from December 23rd. That's this exhibit B, where she is asking to come hang out with me and Chandler to go to a karaoke bar, I think it was.
And then, all right, what's your exhibit C? I can't quite figure out.
This was proof of
talking to
her
who.
coming to Chandler's workplace. And the reason that was like, yeah, cool, you can go where people work, I guess. She has been well aware of Chandler's scheduled days and what Buffalo Wild Wings, where it is, you know, she's going to be there. And she's not just a cook, she's a server now. And Miranda would be in like knowledge of that because they were hanging out when that started.
Okay.
And this basically is just a retaliatory thing because the only reason this was filed when she was referring to her exhibit of the like me saying she should have responded, it was because I have been continuing to find out information that she has been talking about to like multiple people. I found out that her mother has found out about like my addictions past and like homelessness and things like that. And she has continued to make posts about me, but it isn't indirect, so technically it could not be, but talking about how at least I know my ex is crazy on the day that Chandler let her know she didn't want to hang out anymore. And it kind of just seems like she's mad she didn't get the last laugh type of thing whenever Chandler stops talking to her, because that's when, around that time is when she petitioned this and then went and through and deleted all of the posts she had made, which kind of like shows she knows that posts aren't going to line up with actions type of thing. Yeah, it's just a little silly.
All right, so your point here is that that there isn't a basis to find, tell me if I'm wrong, there's not a basis to find that you're intending to commit unlawful harassment.
Exactly. Because I have never been asked to stop contacting her. I went through every message that I have on my phone given. I cannot talk about July. I don't have any of that. There has never been a Molly, you need to stop contacting me. I've gotten her being antagonizing on the story and then wanting to be my best friend for a while. And then once she had stopped talking to Chandler because Chandler cut it off, that was the day she also cut me off. So it's kind of like she was, yeah, this is just silly, basically. There's no harassment. I look at Instagram or TikTok, I apologize. It's been public up until literally 3 days ago. So it seems like she's she has not been putting forth the effort to make it known that I'm scaring her or making her feel paranoid or harassed. So this was just a bit silly, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, Ms. Carnes, I'm not issuing an order against.
Yeah.
Ms. I don't find it silly. Yeah, that's up to Ms. Paris to decide how she feels about it. But there just isn't, and I have to find, is there an intent on Ms. Paris to commit unlawful harassment against you, all of her actions specifically to cause you emotional distress and actually causing it and having no lawful or legitimate purpose for it. I can't find what the law defines as unlawful harassment. So there will be the order ends. There will be no further order going forward. I think the two of you have made it clear to each other you're not real interested in having any contact. So I suggest that you go along those lines. And so that's it for today. I'll write an order that ends the matter. And that's in the file. So
Well, thank you so
to the
much.
two of you.
Have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So long. So are you here for a 130 case? Who's here for court? Do we have a last name that's going to be on, it's going to be heard? Is there a last name? Which attorney are we looking for?
Because they said they have oh yeah, 130, yeah.
Okay, does it say what courtroom?
Courtroom is 3.
Good, you're in the right place, stay right there. All right, so I'll get this filled out too. And then finally, we're gonna take up Ms. Norton, Kylie Norton, and Susan Rawl, 575. And this is a request by Kylie Norton for an order against Susan Rawl. And there was a temporary protection order issued, and I see there's somebody else with us.
Yes,
on
this
each
is my mother,
side.
Stephanie.
Pardon?
This is my mother, Stephanie,
Is she going to be a witness or something?
and she's more here for support.
Okay, and then I see Susan Rawl. I think I see someone next to you. Is there someone who's going to be a witness?
Yes, it's Amanda Rawl. She also went to the PT facility that Ms. Norton worked at.
You know, all right. I think we're gonna, now I should probably get out of here. We're gonna move courtrooms and finish this hearing, but I have to move over across the hallway, and then you're gonna go to courtroom 1. My clerk is gonna, she's gonna send in the chat, the link to courtroom number 1, and then we'll recommence there probably. Because you'll need time to get everything. So let's reconvene at 1:30 in courtroom 1.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks.